How's your trip?
Wonderful.
This is the special city council meeting, Monday, May 4th, 2015. We will have the presentation of the colors by the Joliet Police Honor Guard, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance and then the invocation. Please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mark. 4, mark.
Let us pray. Almighty God, you are generous in your gifts to each and every one of us. We are grateful for all that you continue to do and for the many favors which you grant to your people. We gather this evening in your name and ask that you will enlighten us and give us your guidance. Everything we do is done with your inspiration and with your wisdom. We ask, Lord, your presence tonight as we honor our outgoing and incoming members of our council, our Mayor Duranty, and our new Mayor Odekirk. God, our Father, may your blessings be theirs today and always. May your blessings be upon all of our council members, those recently elected as well as those re-elected, that all that they do may be done to honor and to praise your name. May they be blessed and sanctified so that all that they do may be done for the greater good of all of the people of our fair city. For we recognize you as our one Lord and our one God, now and forever. Amen.
Amen.
Start with roll call. Mayor Girani.
Here.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Here.
Councilman Girl.
Here.
Councilman Hugg.
Here.
Councilman McFarland.
Here.
Councilman Morris.
Here.
Councilman Odekirk.
Here.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Here.
Councilman Turk.
Here.
First, we have a resolution from the Illinois House of Representatives for Mayor Girani.
This is resolution number 40480. It is introduced by Lawrence Walsh Jr., Natalie Manley, signed by Speaker Madigan. Whereas Mayor Thomas Durrani is a lifelong resident of the city of Joliet and has served his hometown for over 4 decades, during this time he has earned the admiration and respect of Joliet's residents, fellow city council members, city hall staff. And whereas Tom Durrani attended Sacred Heart Grade School, Joliet Catholic High School, and Joliet Junior College, and whereas Tom Durrani's outstanding record of community service began with a 22-year career as in the Joliet Fire Department, including 16 years serving as president of Joliet Firefighters Local 44 and 2 years as secretary of the Police and Fire Board. And whereas Thomas Durrani's decades of service as an elected official includes 6 years as a Joliet Park District board member, 3 years as president of the Park Board, 14 years as an elected Joliet City Council member at large, where he served as chairman of the Joliet Water Park Committee, chairman of the Baseball Committee, past chairman of the Public Safety Committee, past member of the Public Service Committee, and past member of the Joliet Township Senior Citizen Services Committee. And whereas during his term as Joliet City Councilman at large, Thomas Girani was directly involved in attracting new business and improving the quality of life in his hometown with a significant number of development projects, such as Joliet's 2 world-class casinos, Chicagoland Speedway, the Centerpoint Intermodal Center, Route 66 Raceway, Audubon Country Club, the Joliet Area Historical Museum, the West Side branch of the Joliet Public Library, Splash Station Water Park, and Silver Cross Field. And whereas in 2011, Thomas Girani was elected mayor of the city of Joliet, immediately upon taking office, he established the Committee to Attract and Retain Business, CARB, a committee comprised of 18 local professional and business people to assist in maintaining his vision of a strong pro-business atmosphere. His office door was always open as he constantly met with local leaders, members of the business community, and everyday citizens who simply needed his help. His leadership through difficult economic times restored Joliet's financial well-being, brought new jobs and retail developments throughout the city, and positioned Joliet as one of the most business-friendly communities in the Midwest. And whereas Thomas Girani's love of Joliet is only superseded by his love and devotion to his family. He's been married to Rosemary Girani for 53 years. Together, they have 3 children, 8 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren, who will now be the recipient of his affection, time, and attention. Therefore, be it resolved by the House of the Representatives of the 99th General Assembly of the State of Illinois that we thank Mayor Thomas Girani for his leadership and dedicated service and wish him success and happiness in the future.
Next, we have a proclamation honoring Mayor Girani.
You know, apparently the House of Representatives stole the city's proclamation. I don't want to say that they stole it, but it's basically everything that was in that the city manager just read, except for the last paragraph.
Don't put them out through it all again. Just read the rest.
Okay. But I just want to say on a personal note that Tom and I have been serving up here for 20 years together. It's been an honor to serve with him. He's a great friend. He's a great fan of the city of Joliet. He's a great family man, and I know his intentions are to spend a lot more time with his family, and I think we all need to take some guidance and direction from that. You know, when you look at how life can change in a minute, you know, Councilman Rembeck is up at St. Joe's fighting for his life. He's not making a lot of progress, and I think that life can change in a split second. So I think we all need to value our family, our friends, and really focus on what's really important. But the last paragraph here basically says that that all the accolades that was written in the other proclamation, but it says, now therefore be it proclaimed by the members of the City Council of Joliet, Illinois as follows: Betty Gavin, John E. Gurl, Lawrence Hugg, Jim McFarland, Terry Morris, Bob Odekirk, Jan Helms Quillman, and Michael F. Turk thank Mayor Thomas Girani for his leadership and dedicated service and wish him well in the years ahead, dated May 4th, 2015. I just want to add that I thank you, Tom, for your friendship and your support over the years, and good luck to you in the future.
Thanks. I have a lot of thank yous to hand out. First and foremost, my wife, Rose. Excuse me. For all she's done for the last 25 years. There's a saying in Italian, padron di casa, which means man of the house. She had to be exactly that. Much of the time when I was out and about, whether it was for the union or for the city of Joliet. Thank you. I want to thank our family for all their support over the years, for all those days and nights that I wasn't there. My staff who worked so hard to make my job easier. My secretary, Sue, and I saw her here earlier. Sue's hours are 8:30 to 4:30. I would get here at 7:15, 7:30. In 4 years, I never beat her in the door. She was always here waiting. That's how dedicated she is. Where's Sue? I know she's there. She's hiding something. Thank you, Sue. The Deputy Liquor Commissioners, Jim Murphy, Jim Greenan, and Detective Joe Clement. When I took office, then Mayor Art Schultz told me, he says, the Liquor Commissioner's office is going to be your biggest headache, and how true it was. These guys kept everybody on their toes. Those that broke the law, we made them pay. I want to thank Jim Murphy, Jim Greenan, and Detective Clement for all they did. Thank you to all the supporters I had during my terms on the council and as mayor. I want to thank Doc Gregory from the building trades, Charlie Hannes from the central trades, Tim Hunter from the firefighters, who I'll always consider my second family, and my friends from the JPD that supported me. On many different occasions, we discussed the departments that are so understaffed. However, we were all guilty of forgetting about the departments right here in City Hall and the terrific job they do in spite of being understaffed. I want to thank Krista for the great job she does. And all them people, where's the staff? All the staff sitting over there for the great job they do. Thank you. During my 25 years in public office, I had the opportunity to meet many dedicated men and women that continually worked hard to make our city the great city that it is. Thank you for all you've done, for all you folks. Thank you. I will miss sitting down with the developers and investors who come into the office looking to come into our city. Sitting down with them and talking and bragging about the great city we have and all the terrific amenities we have to offer them to get them here. Yes, there are things and people I'm going to miss. However, there are some things and some people I will not miss. I wish the new council good luck in their deliberations. They have some challenging decisions to make in the next few years. I just wish you the best of luck. In conclusion, it's been a great run. Excuse me. I really enjoyed it. However, I am looking forward to spending more time with my family. In fact, I already have. With that being said, if you excuse me, my wife and I are going out to dinner with our family. Thank you.
You know, with the Girani clan emptying out, there's a whole lot of seats up here if you want to take them. So come up and grab a seat.
adjourn. Is it just asphalt? Hey, buddy. Keep moving. All right.
Is that?
Oh, I see. All right.
Somebody say that? Okay. All right. Make a motion, go back in the second.
I'm not gonna cry.
Okay, what we need now is a motion to adjourn this meeting and then open up a new meeting. So is there a motion to adjourn this meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.
And now is there a motion to bring this meeting to order?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
First is the oath of office for recently elected and re-elected council members, Mayor Bob Odekirk. This oath will be administered by Honorable David M. Carlson, Circuit Judge, Circuit Court of Will County.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ladies and gentlemen of the council. Bob, I've called you a lot of things. In the course of our history. The ones I can speak about here are friend, former law partner, and now mayor. So with that, I'll ask you to raise your right hand. I,
I,
Robert Patrick Odekirk,
Robert Patrick Odekirk,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the ordinances of the City of Joliet,
and the ordinances of the City of Joliet,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of mayor
of the office of mayor
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. I do want to thank Dave Carlson, my former law partner, now judge. A little personal note, Dave had a family vacation that was scheduled to go to Arizona this weekend. He actually put it off a couple days to be here tonight. So Dave, thank you very much. It means a lot to me. I also do want to thank the members of my law firm who are here, Ken Zalazzo, Leslie Allred, my partners, and all the staff that are here. Thank you for all the help throughout the campaign and all the hard work that you do. I want to thank all the friends that are here tonight. Obviously, there's too many to name individually. I do want to thank my former police officer colleagues and partners who are here. I want to thank the people who supported me during the campaign. I also want to thank the people who are here tonight to support the other newly elected officials. Thank you for your support and for your care and love of our city. I'd like to thank my family who's here, my Aunt Kathy Odekirk, my Aunt Pat Wilson, the Evans family who have invited me in, the terrific people, Ruth and Rick Evans. Thank you to you and the whole Evans clan. I'd like to thank individually my sister Cheryl Catalinic, who's here, my brother Brian Odekirk, who's here from St. Louis, and my brother Tom Odekirk, who's also here. I want to thank my mother, Mary Odekirk. Thank you, Mom. You know, politics could be a rough game, but the one thing you can count on is that your mom will always be on your side. Thank you, Mom. And then I would also like to mention my father, Thomas Odekirk. My father unfortunately passed away a couple years ago, but obviously we know in our family that he is still nearby guiding over all of us. So, and I could tell you that I would never have been here today without the guidance of my father. So, Dad, thank you. To my immediate family, my daughter Leah, thank you for coming. My stepdaughter Madison and my stepson Mason, and my wonderful wife Rebecca, who probably is the natural politician in the family, because Rebecca could talk to anybody about any issue and really keep their interest. So, but it was a long campaign. It's been a long 4 years as a councilman, a long campaign, and a tough campaign. Thank you so much, Rebecca, for all the support at home. And again, I would not be here without you, so thank you. The campaign for me started a little bit over a year ago. It was a long campaign. Initially, when I started, it was me and some core people involved in the campaign, family and close friends. And what happened during the last year was that the campaign grew and the volunteers grew. And again, there's too many people to mention individually, but what I saw by about a month ago in March was I had people from all four corners of the city helping out. A campaign that began, again, with myself, family, and friends, included labor unions, city union workers, non-city union workers with the county and with the state. Eventually, the endorsement for Latinos for Joliet, the endorsement from the African American Clergy Association. And what I think we demonstrated throughout the campaign was that working together, different groups working together can achieve great things. I believe that the results of the election are proof of that when we as a community come together and work, not as individuals, but as a group, we can achieve great things. It's my promise to the people of Joliet going forward, both on the east side and the west side, that I will do what I can to do the same, to bring people together and to work together to achieve what's good for the city of Joliet. I had about 3 weeks to prepare this speech, and like probably any good lawyer, I didn't write anything down until about an hour ago, but it's been in my thoughts. And yesterday afternoon, I spent a couple hours up in the Forest Park neighborhood, the Hill, which what we refer to here in Joliet. And it was coincidental because that was the neighborhood I worked at primarily my 10 years as a police officer. Yesterday, I was up there with the Men of Valor group. It's a terrific group of African-American clergy men and women who have come together on their own to fight and combat the surge of violence that we've had in Joliet. As we all know, that the number of the homicides since Thanksgiving. And although I spent most of 10 years as a patrolman working those streets day after day, I really haven't been up there since I left the police department in 2003, other than the occasional trip to the Forest Park Community Center to see Miss Ray or Miss Gavin. And yesterday I took time, not just to drive through the neighborhood, but actually to walk the neighborhood, the same streets I used to patrol as a policeman. And what was striking to me, at one point we ended up in the Fairmont housing projects, and walking down those streets, all the memories were flooding back to me from my time as a patrolman. And I'll be frank, most of the memories are bad. Shootings that I was at, homicides, where bodies were at. A time where myself and Officer Cardwell were stuck out of our car and pinned down by gunfire. And all the things that the policemen go through, especially in a neighborhood like that. But it was different yesterday. Yesterday, I wasn't working in a hostile neighborhood. I wasn't working as a policeman. I was walking down the street, arm in arm, with the chief of police, with fellow, my peers from the city council, Councilwoman Gavin and Councilman Morris, and with pastors and members from all over our community. And again, everybody united towards a common goal. This goal was to stop the violence in Joliet. And it just struck me, walking and reflecting, again, the same premise keeps coming back, that working together, the example that the Men of Valor group is setting, that we can achieve great things in Joliet. I think about how far Joliet's come today as I was walking down those streets from where it was in the early 1990s. And then I think about how far Joliet can go if, as a community, we come together and work together to achieve the goals. And then, one side note, my younger brother, Brian, I said he came up from St. Louis. He's a St. Louis police officer in the city of St. Louis. And, Brian, the contrast between what's happened in your city in St. Louis in the last 6 months and what's happening here in Joliet, where people are working together. I really credit this Men of Valor group. They're not taking the usual approach that you see. It's not an anti-gun group. It's not an anti-police group. It's a pro-religion group and a pro-peace group. And they've reached out to everybody in the city. And I commend our city officials who have worked with them. And I think it serves not only as a great example to our community, but to urban America of what can happen when people work together, as opposed to what we saw in St. Louis and what we've seen this last week in Baltimore. To my peers on the council, there has been talk, obviously over the last 4 years, and certainly during the election campaign, about disagreements the last 4 years. And it's true, there were many. I'm not going to criticize my peers because I believe disagreement is good. I believe disagreement on policy issues is important. That's how you reach the right conclusion. And I know going forward, there will be more disagreements on policy issues. As we know, we have some real hot-button issues that are going to be in front of us very shortly. I would encourage the council to vigorously debate and disagree when it's necessary. I also would encourage the council, once a policy decision has been made, when a vote's been taken and a decision has been reached, that the council come together and work together as a group to implement the policy whichever way the vote goes. On a procedural note, it's my understanding in this form of government that the mayor typically doesn't vote on every issue. The mayor is the tiebreaker. There's 8 council members and the mayor. And I know other elected bodies, like our county government, operate that way, where the chief executive officer does not vote on a daily basis. I plan on doing the same. I will vote as a tiebreaker. But my thought is, and what I believe I'm doing by this, is I've said repeatedly, I want to empower this city council. I don't see the council as being 8 individuals that are going to vote yes on my agenda or support my agenda. I want you as city council men and women to actively set the agenda for this city. I want your votes to count, and I want as a group for us to work together moving this city forward. Finally, to the citizens of Joliet, 4 years ago, I was in this council chambers, and I thank the citizens of District 2 for giving me the opportunity to serve in District 2. Today, 4 years later, I'm thanking all citizens of Joliet for giving me the opportunity to serve as mayor. I am truly humbled as I stand here, and I also recognize the significance and the responsibility that's been placed on me. And I can assure you that I do not take that lightly. It's my pledge to everybody in Joliet, those who supported me in the election, those who did not, to fulfill the campaign promises that I made and to fulfill the expectations that have been placed on me. I will do my best and work my hardest with everybody in this city and with our council to move our city of Joliet forward. So thank you, everyone, for attending tonight. Tonight is a fun night. It's a celebration. Tomorrow we get down to work. So, Jim, but thank you very much.
The wrong seat.
That deserves an applause. First mistake.
I know you want to sit by me, but it's alphabetical order.
You notice that no one else sat there either.
Next is the oath of office for District 1 Councilman Larry E. Hugg.
I'm not real comfortable talking in front of large crowds. Before she administers the oath, I would like to invite my family, my wife Susan, my daughter Lauren, and my son Douglas. Please come up here. I would like them to be with me. And there's several other people. There's a lot of people from District 1. And just as a reminder that this is not my seat, this is the people's seat, I'm going to invite some folks up here from my district who worked hard, and they're not here because they worked hard. They're here because they represent the rest of our residents in District 1. Dave Harris, come up here, please. John Dillon, if Eddie Maycheck's back there, come up here, please. John Bilecki, come up here, please. Is Johnny Perry here? Mike, you're from our district, come on up here. Richard, you're from our district, come on up here. This represents our district. Is Tony here? Tony Lakota?
There's no limit.
Lindsay, don't hide. Get up here. Mike, don't hide. DeVito, get up here. You live in District 1. And that's all I'm going to assemble. It's just representative of the fact that this is not my seat. I fill it at the will of the people, and I'm honored to fill it temporarily for as long as they have me.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Larry Hugg,
I, Larry Hugg,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the ordinances of the City of Joliet,
and the ordinances of the City of Joliet.
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
And I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of District 1 Councilman
of the office of District 1 Councilman
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities. Mr. Mayor, am I allowed to make some comments?
Yes.
Bob's my boss now. You know, when I first got up here, I went to Providence, and it was kind of a throwback, a flashback, a shock to me. Out of the corner of my eye, I could have swore I saw a flock of nuns. But it's just our illustrious judges in their black uniforms. With that said, I'll just follow up briefly with my comments. 4 years ago, I came here. I stood up here alone with my family. I had a small handful of people that helped me with the campaign and to get elected to do basically what I said back then was the right thing. Be transparent, keep my integrity, be honest, and move this city forward. We've not accomplished everything that I wanted to accomplish or any of this member of this council wants to. We still have a lot of work, but we have accomplished some pretty good things. Look at how many people showed up. That in itself tells you where the city's going. Look at how many people show up to the average pre-council and council meeting. You know, we are all very transparent. Moving forward, we're going to be even more transparent, more accessible. We have some big things, as former Mayor Tom Girani and current Mayor Bob Odekirk said. We've got some big decisions to make. My focus is going to be on economic development. We need to bring in economic development. We need to bring in a professional economic development person, director, because we need the revenues to do some of the things we want to do, and we're not going to do those revenues on the backs of the taxpayers. So again, I thank everybody in District 1. Frankly, I got a lot of support outside of District 1 additionally. Everybody outside of District 1 and all the folks that are up here, I want to thank my wife, Susan, because she does pick up the slack. Sometimes I've been at events and people might say, where's your wife? Where's Susan? She's at home doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So, and my son, Douglas, maybe he's the next mayor in 10 or 15 years, or my daughter, Lauren, who might be the mayor. So watch out, Bob. All right, thank you all.
Mayor, may I make a comment?
Yes, Councilwoman.
As was brought to my attention by our new mayor, are there no women in your district besides your wife and daughter?
Well, the ones that stood up. You are a woman, I hear you roar.
It's a lonely district.
We're doing our part to keep the population boom down.
Okay. Next will be the oath of office for District 2 Councilman Patrick Mudrin. The oath will be administered by Honorable Jeff Allen, Circuit Judge, Circuit Court of Will County.
I want to say what an honor it is to have the privilege of administering the oath of office to Patrick Mudrin, a man that I've known for nearly 40 years, a good man, a good citizen of this community, and he's going to make just an excellent councilman, serve the interest of this fine city quite well. Yes, sir. Patrick Mudrin,
I, Patrick Mudrin,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the ordinances of the City of Joliet,
and the ordinances of the City of Joliet,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of District 2 Councilman
of District 2 Councilman
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you, everyone. Following in order, wasn't sure what I was supposed to talk about. Obviously, I got lucky. I'm here to thank everybody. Starting with my family, I was corrected at a fundraiser from Tyler Markham that I forgot to thank my wife. She was supposed to be the first one. Andrea, my wife of 43 years, told me 5 years ago when I was 60 that most people she knows were thinking about retiring, not starting a new insurance agency. And now at 65, she told me everybody she knows is retiring, not running for a public office. Thank you for all your help and being with me this last year in the campaign. Our son, Seamus, is here with his wife, Mary Kane Mudrin, and their 5 girls who all helped walk the streets for me, hand out literature, eat a lot of food. Cecily, Kayla, Emma, Madeline, and Ellie's with her other grandfather. Daughter Marissa is in the front here, married to Tim Fears, who is here with their youngest. They have 4 children. Tyler's in school up in the Plainfield area. He couldn't be here. Cole, Layla, and Lincoln. Thank you all for this hard work you did in walking the neighborhoods. Coming to social media that I am challenged at greatly. My sister, Ann Quirio, whose husband had worked for the city, passed away prematurely, and her daughter, Ryan, thank you very much. My 2 campaign co-chairs, Jen Kane Howard and Terry Darcy, thank you. In no particular order, the next person was the #1 person in the campaign. I was told from some advisors, you have to have a treasurer that you can see, trust, work with regularly. That person is a co-worker with me. Her and I are heavily involved in this insurance agency with Seamus and Joe Kane, Diane Gunderson. Diane does it all, whether it's in the insurance agency or here, kept the finances straight, from the #1 envelope stuffer, stamper, mailer, proofreader, and any other job needed. Thank you for stepping up and doing it. My campaign started approximately a year ago at an old-timers baseball meeting that Jim Greenan and I are sitting next to each other, and he asked me, have you ever thought about running for city office? And I stuttered. And he says, so you have? I said, I thought about it a lot. It came from a father who was heavily involved as a precinct committeeman for a long time as a Republican precinct committeeman, a mother who was a strong Democrat, so we got a lot of discussions in the House. And he had mentioned that the District 2's seat was going to be open and I should think hard about it. Ironic for me, I stopped to see my mechanic, Glenn Markham, and I asked him what he thought. I realized different people go to see their barber or maybe go to see their bartender, but I went to see my mechanic because my cars are in need all the time. Glenn said, give him a little time to think about it. He'll get back to me. He got back to me and told me, I think it'd be a good idea. The problem is you're already 6 weeks behind. He comes back with a schedule that I'm not quite sure was doable. He's been a very solid, it was a 4-page schedule. I'm thinking, I'm just running for District 2, Glenn. I don't know that that we need all that. Didn't know at the time, Glenn came with a whole family of workers. His wife, Patricia, referred to as the graphics committee, ran the graphics. He was the graphics. Thank you very much, Pat, for that. Son Tyler, member of the Joliet High School School Board, by the way, truly knows numbers. I know lots of you know athletic numbers on where teams stand. Tyler has all the statistics for campaigns, knows everything about every campaign that everybody has, why they did win, didn't win. He's pretty well got it down. Tyler's fiance, Beth, thank you for letting him work. The rest of the Tyler family I know was involved, Brett and Samantha, Patrick, Sam and Ben, and his sister Diane. Sister Diane was one of our big walkers who always got stuck in the more difficult walking neighborhoods who harassed us all the time. But thank you, Diane, very much for that. Other non-family immediate, 2 fellows in the back who complained if they didn't get enough to eat was Jim Grace and Dave Papish. My two main non-related walkers, thanks, guys. Appreciate it very much. Brought in with that Don Dickinson from the Joliet High School Board also, and Pete Ragusa. Pete Ragusa is a neighbor of mine that came to me and said, I have your sign. I said, Pete, I haven't even said I was running for sure yet. I said, I got your colors. I've seen this before out of town here. It'd be a great color for you, and the gold and blue, and my alma mater of Notre Dame worked out well for me. I also would like to thank a couple other public officials that I went to before I said I was going to run. Both of them have been here, were here. Larry Walsh, thank you for your advice and encouragement. Dan Vera, I know, was here. Thank you for your guidance and support also. Major endorsements of groups that I'd like to thank is Doc Gregory, also of the Will County Building Trades, Charlie Hannes of the Will County Central Trades, Operating Engineers Local 150, and Dave Jones of Nickrell Corporation. I'd also obviously like to thank all my supporters who voted for me in District 2, anyone that let me put a sign up, and obviously everybody made a donation so I could afford to be here. I'd like to thank the staff at the City Hall, Jim Hock, Krista Desiderio, who gave me an orientation that I greatly appreciated, took me around and introduced me to most of the staff, or a lot of the staff here at the City Hall. Thank you very much. I'd like to apologize to all of you now for the length of this speech, and I'll never talk this long again. I apologize to anybody I missed. Thank you.
Next is the oath of office for District 3 Councilman John Gurl.
You know, Councilman Mudgeon, for someone who's never been a politician before, when they put a mic in front of you, you really want to work on it. I'm only going to call two people up, my wife and my son. I know they'll come up, so I just want to make sure they come up here as well.
Raise your right hand. I, John Gurl,
I, John Gurl,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the ordinances of the City of Joliet,
and the ordinances of the City of Joliet,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of District 3 Councilman
of the office of District 3 Councilman
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities. Thank you very much. And I want to thank all of you for coming today. You know, it really indicates the crowd that we have here, the support and the commitment of the residents of the city of Joliet. It kind of reminds me of a story when I was actually on the county board, and I don't recall the issue. It was about 10 years ago. But obviously there were representatives from various areas of the county. And again, I can't remember what the issue was, but it came down to an issue that was very important to the city of Joliet. So it really came down to Republicans who were from the city of Joliet and the Democrats who were from the city of Joliet of binding together and making sure that we got this particular resolution or ordinance passed in the county board. And it passed. I don't recall what it was. But I remember the leader at the time basically making the comments, is, boy, those guys from Joliet sure do stick together. And that's true. We do. We do as a community. And I do want to acknowledge some family and some friends that I have here today. You know, I absolutely loathe talking about myself, but what I do enjoy talking about is my family. My son John is here. Johnny's actually graduated last year in May, from the University of Iowa with his accounting degree, his bachelor's degree in accounting, and he's currently studying for his CPA exam. And in fact, he's already taken 2 parts of that exam. It's a 4-part test, so we're all anxiously waiting to see how he does on that test come the end of May. Yeah, let's give the kid a hand. Being a CPA, I understand the stress that he's going through right now. But also, my daughter Haley, who's not here today, she's actually a junior at the University of Missouri. She's in the midst of her final exams, and she's actually in the College of Nursing down there at the University of Missouri, and I'm sure she's studying very hard right now. At least she tells us that she is. But, my wife Renee and I are very proud of our kids, and I'm happy my son John is able to be here today. And my wife Renee, as most men will acknowledge, you know, my wife has kind of been the rock of our family. In fact, she's been an example to our home of how to live your life when things don't quite go your way. And I want to thank her for that. So, thank you. I've also got some family in the background. I often say, you know, it's such a great thing, and it's such an upside that I come from a big family. It can be a downside coming from a big family, too. But one thing is you can always count on them coming. I see my cousin Larry Capista is here, my cousin Lee and his wife Linda Capista are here, my sister Rochelle is here, my cousin Amy, and my good friend John Major is here as well. And my Aunt Irene, my mother's twin sister, we lost my mom back in June, but my Aunt Irene is here. She's 91, and she's as healthy as they can get. My Uncle Bernie girl and my Aunt Bern is here as well. So I want to thank all of you for also want to thank a couple very good friends of mine that were very instrumental in the campaign. In fact, I told them that if I lost, I was going to blame it on them. But Steve Randich is here. He was my campaign manager. He's here today, and my good friend. We've known each other for 25 years, and Steve, thanks for everything you've done. And my good friend Rick Cignoli and his sister Lori. I want to thank them for all they've done. I also want to thank the endorsements that I received. I was very fortunate. I see the Joliet Police Department is here. I want to thank them for all of their support, their confidence in me, and all of the work that they've done for me. The Joliet Fire Department as well, the building trades, Local 150, the Central Trades, and I just want to thank all of those for showing their confidence in me during this campaign. As Mayor Odekirk has said, it was a very tough campaign, but now the campaign is over. Now we have to govern. And it's going to take the efforts of not only us on the city council and the mayor, but also all of our residents of the city of Joliet. We have a lot of exciting things that are going on right now. I mean, a lot of exciting things. I'm a firm believer in our downtown, and we've got a lot of exciting things going on there right now. We've got Joliet Junior College. In fact, it was just written in the paper that they're going to go forward on completing that building and making sure that the interior gets done, and it's going to bring 1,000 young people to our downtown. And hopefully they spend their money, and administrators as well. So we're going to have people there. University of St. Francis has invested heavily in their facility downtown. We have the intermodal facility, which is now taking place right now and just getting off the ground, and we're expecting some big things there as well. So we do have the I-80 and I-55 corridor. We're hearing that there's going to be a lot of activity going on there. We're looking at a lifestyle mall, and hopefully we think that can resurrect itself. It's been in the news. IKEA building a $1.5 million distribution facility. We've got another major internet distribution facility that is also going to be putting in a large facility in Joliet. So businesses are showing confidence in us. We now have to govern and make smart decisions as well. We've also have some challenges. I see a lot of judges over here. We have to make sure that the new courthouse, when built, stays in downtown Joliet. And we're going And we're going to work very hard with our partners at the county, and I say our partners at the county because they are our partners. We have a vested interest in working well with the county board, with the county executive, and with the judiciary as well. And it is very important to us. We're going to have to make an investment. We realize that, but it's going to be a great economic engine, and it's going to bring a lot of jobs and opportunity to the city of Joliet. So with that said, again, I want to thank you all for coming. As someone who was born here and raised here, I consider it a privilege to serve on the Joliet City Council. It's my honor. I work very hard at it. And again, I consider it a privilege, and I want to thank all of you for coming and for your support. God bless.
Congratulations, John.
Next will be the oath of office for District 4, Councilwoman Betty Gavin. Her oath will be administered by Honorable Raymond Bolden.
So we do this again?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My pleasure.
Before I do this, after hearing the previous speakers,
Betty, give him the mic.
it brought home to me the fact that when I came to this city in 1947, I lived on the hill with my grandfather on Arthur Avenue. And I finished high school and Joliet Junior College. And here we are today at this city council meeting, electing 2 minority members to the city of Joliet. And my friends, I want to warn you, this city is going to face a lot of serious problems in the coming months and years. And you're going to need voices that you may not have heard before. And you have people on this council who can give you advice. Betty Gavin is one of them. I hope you listen. You ready? Raise your right hand. This is the wrong one.
Oh, yeah.
Now, are you ready?
Oh.
Repeat after me. I,
I,
your name,
Betty Gavin,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the ordinances of the City of Joliet,
and the ordinances of the City of Joliet,
and I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of District 4 Councilwoman
the duties of the office of District 4 Councilwoman
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability. Thank you. Thank you all so much. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. This shows that we have great partnerships and relationships here in our city, and that we all can come together and work together for the greatness of our city. So before I go any further, I'd like to have my husband, Archie Gavin, come up. my national president, Deborah Summers, please join me. And my local president, Deborah Upshaw, would you join me, please, here? I call these ladies, we belong to an organization called the National Hookup of Black Women. And these are my leaders from the national level and from the local level. And I know most of you have heard about us, but the work that they do in terms of being advocates for women and their children is the most phenomenal piece that I have been engaged and involved with. And I have a lot of my sisters here in the room tonight, but they are responsible. That's why I put them up front. They are responsible for getting me to where I am, outside of pushing me off the cliff, so to speak. So I want to thank you, ladies. And then for my husband, a man who has such a large heart that he shares me with this entire city. He has gone without food. The poor man hasn't had a home-cooked meal in a while. But I promise I'll make all of that up. But without further ado, let me say, to God be the glory for where I stand today in this piece, because I represent your voices of District 4, and I will blend my voice with my colleagues here as we work to make Joliet better. And we invite you all the time for your input, because at the end of the day, it's going to take all of us working together to make downtown become that vibrant part of the city, to make all corners of this city as vibrant, bringing economic development in, job creations for all skill levels. That's what we want to see. We want to be able to clean our streets from the crime that it's been ridden by. We want to be able to bring families out where they can enjoy education, recreation, all of those quality of life indicators. So that's what we're working for. And I stand and sit in the people's seat in the 4th District. And I want to tell them that I thank you so much for your support. I thank you for your confidence. And anyone, we are right now in the process of having our district meetings. And so I'm counting on all of my neighborhood councils. John Sheridan, we'll be at it, we will. But all of the, I believe Ms. Stacy is here, and several of the others who are chairs of those committees, Ms. Mellis McCormick, we definitely depend on our neighborhood councils. We want to hear what's going on there and bring that to us, and so all of our colleagues can work together and make things happen for this great city. Again, I want to just thank all of you for your support and your confidence. You have honored me with your vote. I will now honor you with my service. Thank you.
Betty?
I won't hold you out too long.
Next will be the oath of office for District 5 Councilman Terry Morris. The oath will be administered by Honorable Dan Kennedy, Circuit Judge, Circuit Court of Will County.
everybody's saying a little something, so I'm gonna say something about Terry Morris. I met Terry a few years ago, and it was when I ran for office, and we became quick friends. The reason why we became quick friends, we both knew running for office was not fun. It was hard. He knew it, and I knew it, because he was starting to run for re-election, and Terry and I became quick friends because we said we're going to have some fun or we're going to die. And we've been fun ever since with the help of some other council members here, and it made it more enjoyable. Terry called me up and said, hey, Your Honor, it would be an honor. I said, Your Honor, we're not talking about that. My name's Dan. It would be my honor to swear you in. So here we go, Terry. Councilman Morris. I, Terry Morris,
I, Terry Morris,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the ordinance of the City of Joliet,
and the ordinance of the City of Joliet.
that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of District 5 Councilman,
That's a lot, man. That I will
faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Councilman 5,
faithfully discharge the duties of Councilman District Councilman 5, Councilman District 5. Let me get it right now.
all right,
I'm sorry.
according to the best of my abilities.
According to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
You'd have thought after hearing 5 others, I would have had it down packed by then.
Hey, Terry?
I was listening to him, but it's different, I guess, when you stand here. Man, this is the second time. Wow. Okay, maybe the third time I'll get it right. I have notes here and still don't know where to start. My wife, I asked her to come up to kind of prop me up. Getting a little nervous. Dan, thank you so much. And Dan he's absolutely right. We had fun, but we had to get him in because I knew he was the right person for the position on the bench. First of all, I like to thank God, for the strength, for the wisdom, to serve and to allow me to serve the people of District 5 again, to work with my fellow councilmen. We do, it is challenging, but, to me, this time it just seems a little more exciting than before, to move the city forward even more. Again, the people of District 5, I don't take this lightly at all. I appreciate the support, the votes that you gave me for me to serve you again for 4 more years. And again, I will not take it lightly. We'll work very hard for you. My parents, they weren't able to be here this evening. I'd like to thank them. A couple of my sons is here. Damon, did Sean make it? Sean, he's in the back. Yeah, okay. I'd like to acknowledge them. The other children is either at work, at school, out the country, or somewhere. They all over the place. I don't know what happened to my grandbaby. Everybody, she used to come. But anyway, I just like to thank them all for their support. As it was said, it takes the family to support us to do this job, and our friends. I'd like to thank, I don't think he made it, Pastor Warren Doris and his wife, Rita. Even 4 years ago, he's been a big supporter of mine, and he's somewhat my campaign manager, if you want to call it that. Michael and Sandra Stewart, they had another engagement as well. They may be running late, but I just like to thank them. Again, the men and women of the FOP, was great supporters of mine. I'd like to thank them. They supported me from day one. It didn't seem like it was any doubt. I'd like to thank, I think I saw some of the firemen here. I'd like to thank their support. And then just the city staff. We have one of the greatest city staffs, I believe, anywhere. From the city manager's office all the way down. I just like to thank them for their support just throughout my past 4 years and the next 4 years to come. I got notes here. My eyes is tearing up. I can't read it. I'm not going to actually read my writing. Don't worry about it, because you can't. She says you can't. But again, I hope I'm not leaving anyone out. My family, my friends. It's just wonderful. Again, looking forward to working with this councilman, Mayor Odekirk. And Mayor, he already gave me instructions to keep it short. I guess everybody ready to go to dinner. And Councilman Farley told me 2 minutes. Have I got to my 2 minutes yet? Getting close. Okay. You all know I'm the one that don't talk as much, so this might be the most talking I done in the last 4 years. So, and I know you all are ready to go and eat. Again, I hope I didn't miss anyone, thanking anyone, because everyone was so great to me. I saw Kathy here. Hey, she's just a Facebook. I don't be on Facebook, but she was tearing them up on Facebook for me. So, again, thank you all. Thank you, council members, for working with me, staff, and God bless you all. And we can go eat now, I guess, because that's the big rush of me.
Oh, wow. Well, the new ordinance, you can talk as long as you want.
I invite you to join me as we offer our prayers for the members of our city council. Let us pray. God of wisdom and justice, through you all authority is rightly administered. Laws are enacted and judgments are decreed. Guide and support Mayor Odekirk, the members of our city council, Jim McFadden, Jan Quillman, Mike Turk, our re-elected council members Larry Hugg, John Gurl, and Terry Morris, and our newly elected members, Pat Mudrin and Betty Gavin. May their work be conducted with righteousness, and may they always promote what is for the good and welfare of the citizens of Joliet. We likewise commend to your care all the residents of the city of Joliet, that they too may be blessed and sanctified. And together may we all work for the betterment of our community and enjoy the blessings promised to those who remain faithful to you. For we pray to you who are Lord and God, now and forever. Amen.
Amen.
Next, we have roll call for the newly installed council. Mayor Odekirk.
Here.
Councilwoman Gavin. Here. Councilman Gurl.
Here?
Councilman Hugg.
Here.
Councilman McFarland.
Here?
Councilman Morris.
Here.
Councilman Mudrin.
Here.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Here.
Councilman Turk.
Here. At this time, we would need a motion for adjournment, but I would ask if the council could just stay up here for a second to get a group shot, and then and any individual shots that they want for the website. And then also, afterwards, the photographer will be around for any family shots that anybody cares to take. So, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.
We're going to sit.
All right, now we get to sit.
Yeah, right. Till tomorrow.